Hey everybody, this is Grace, and today I have this on my mind again, and I've done videos on some of it, and I wanted to continue, but I didn't, okay, in the direction I want to, and that's about my online experiences. Now, I have gone over some of my past with it before in videos and mentioned some things, but I want to include some of the really odd, strange things that I've seen. Much of it involves the odd and strange and all that, freaky, weird, whatever, would involve somebody who's more like narcissistic, histrionic. Like I say, these are usually the cluster B personality behaviors, not the disorders. I don't know if some of them I do, were diagnosed, but some of my experience, and that includes things like, oh my goodness, online dating. Yeah, predators galore. But I think it's going to take more than one video to talk about, and then will of course have other memories of other things, not just online dating, but other kinds of situations and how it went. Okay, so I'm going to start this video with some of, like I said, I've mentioned before, are the blinkers and the windshield wipers. But anyway, in the noise of the road. Okay, I've got a lot of things going on here, but I've mentioned before that I had my first computer in 1982, and I used computers at jobs after that. But my online experience was started in 1990, and it was a company. It was called Videotel at first, and then I got my own computer, which had my first computer had a 300 baud modem. If you know what that means, then that's great. I'm not going to explain it. But mainly my computers that I had for years had a 2400 baud. And that was way back when. But I, was into, I don't even remember what it was called back then. IRC? No, I think. Well, there was bulletin board services. And also, there was also Prodigy, and I was also one that would telnet. We linked our computers together, different people. We would telnet into one another's computers. If any of this makes sense, yeah, to anybody, because that was a long time ago. Think 1990. It's 2020 now. So anyway, so I have to go back. But I was one of the pioneer women, really, back then. And I started off as a math and computer science major, by the way, and that was back in the 80s. So yeah. Anyway, it was different. So much has changed, of course, across all these years. I still use some of the terminology from way back then because that's what I always knew. And I'll sometimes even go to CPROM and yeah. I don't think I've tried that recently. Or did I? But yeah, old school. I don't know if you can anymore. Maybe I did. Found a way. But anyway, all these things, so many years. But there was a lot about people who are trolled. Well, back then they called them bashers, haters. Oh, there were so many different names. Bashers, haters, flamers. Yeah, that was one of them. And meaning they flamed people, like burned them hot. Came in hot, burned them hot. It just were trolls, haters, all this mixed together. And I mean, it was different. It wasn't anything like today. Today it's just terribly terrible. I mean, it's worse. People that back then they just used their words. And that's bad enough. It was enough with just verbal abuse. But these days, people are doxing one another, swatting, getting people swatted, and that's just downright craziness. Seriously, I have a feeling that's going to really start to change because they are cracking down on that kind of thing. And yeah, once you hear about enough people going to jail and then to prison, yeah, it might change. Okay, and I'm also dealing with my cell phone, my camera, the mount shakes and yeah, it falls off. A lot of things going on here. But anyway, yeah, I want to talk about, like I said, more of a mix of what all could happen, what did happen. Okay, I went and made notes, and I thought I had them with me. No, I left them sitting on my desk. So, I stutter, stammer, and, I'm driving, so I'm more focusing on driving, and I get distracted. I have all that going on, but reading, yeah, it just sounds like somebody reading something with no problem. Anyway, but what I wanted to say at the beginning is I want to get to this point where I'm talking about something that is currently happening to me, and it might take more than 1, 2, 3 videos, I don't know, to lead up to this kind of thing, because I'm going to talk about some of the strangest things I've seen. And this one, the most current one, is really strange. A guy came up to give me my order, and here I am I talk with my hands, as my dad says. I talk with my hands, and here it is. I'm by myself. The camera's sitting on this mount, and I'm waving my hands because I talk with my hands. People like that, they just can't sit their hands still while they're talking. Of course, you're hearing my voice, and but I'm moving my hands. Anyway, I don't think he looked at the camera, so he probably thought I was just sitting here talking to myself. Of course, that's happened. I've been making videos starting with my original channel, 5.5 years. And I do mainly in my SUV when I'm multitasking here, driving around, doing things. So, anyway, the latest one is, I'm going to leave a teaser here for every video. The latest one is just kind of downright spooky. Yeah, I've been stalked. I've been through things like that. And I'm not talking about stalking, but in a way it is. But, yeah, it's freaky. Okay, so anyway, I probably should just jump in by going from the beginning. When I first got on, like I said, I had my first computer in 1982, but didn't start my online experience until, kind of social media until 1990. And it was a video thing called Videotel, and they had them in Toronto, Houston, and Dallas areas. Okay, and I don't know of any others, but there were guys who were hacking in. I knew one of them. I knew of him, I should say. And who would hack into it, I don't know. I have no idea why or how they're hackers. Okay, they were hackers, plain and simple people. But that experience, they had things like, you could chat, how would you say it? Yeah, it was kind of like a chat, but it was different. You could send private messages to people and everything, and then they'd come in like a queue. Other people, you could find people you could chat with and stuff like that. And local, or like I said, I think it was Toronto, Houston, and Dallas. And from Canada to Texas. Okay, only those two that I knew of. Anyway, but one of the first things I learned on this, it also had games, like I played chess. I taught myself how to play chess on that. I think I had a little instruction before then, but I kept stalemating with the machine, so it was like, okay, I think that's what it's called. I don't know, I haven't really played it since then. A couple of times here and there, but yeah, that's all that was going on. But anyway, they were just, it's all like, most of it was text-based and stuff like that, okay? But it was just something people did for fun. But people also met one another off there. Met in person if they, felt like it. And I don't know if I met people from that one. I think it was from that when I started meeting people. And anyway, one of the things that, there were good things. What I'm trying to say is I don't want to point out just all the bad things, because it would sound like that's all I ever saw on any of these was just bad things. But the bad things are the ones that stick out. Seriously, we all know that. It's not anything unusual that bad stuff sticks out and might stay more in your memory, but I have a lot of good memories too. Some people were fun. I learned a lot about myself, about other people, and people would say, more to me, not in any rude, troll-like way, just people shared things about one another, okay? And, you know, they would compliment one another, or they would tell people when they felt that they were wrong, but it wasn't, like I said, like the trolls you see these days, you know, just people just pop in and say you're bad or you're awful, you're this. No, it wasn't anything like that. And these people could be your friends, you know, like real people in the real world. You know, we used to call it real world, but yeah, it's all real world. Okay, but these days I think it's more of, it would be a troll. You know, really, it would be a troll. And people tend to keep their, like on YouTube, you know, people tend, in communities, tend to keep their negativity, anything they feel negative about somebody, that there is their friend, they consider their online friend, they keep it more to themselves. They don't correct the other person's behaviors. And there's been debate about, is that good or is that bad? I think it's a mix, but I know myself, if somebody just starts complaining about something, yeah, you know, I'm like, I don't think this person is just showing their true colors, you know. It can be more to jump to that, but yeah, anyway. The one thing that really stuck out all these years ago, 1990, okay, on this video tell, was pervs. Yeah, that's it, pervs. Plain and simple. And this wasn't anything like you could send any pictures or anything like that. It was just what they would say. You know, like, it was for me, it was men. Some of the things, you know, and there wasn't anything that I recall, like you could block, delete them or anything, you know, block, delete or report. I don't even think there was something to report. I don't remember any of that from back then. That came more recent years, where you could block, delete, report, whatever. Okay, so it was like, you know, you could get slammed with these bad, really bad comments from people, you know, and I'm not like a, what is the word? I can't remember the word, but yeah, some things just were totally inappropriate. So anyway, that was my, you know, really my first experience. And overall, like I said, it was good. It wasn't bad people. You learned a lot about other people, and people weren't kind of like crazy. I see more these days. I know. I was a career student. My degrees are in psychology, sociology, and crazy was not a word that you should use. And I'm well aware of this. I guess some would say, you're just being rebellious. Maybe so. Midlife crisis. Being rebellious. I don't think so. Yeah, I just loosened up quite a bit. You be a career student, and it's just so rigid, so much rigidity. And I also taught at college and university, so yeah, rigid. And I've said that before, and I'll say it again, I'm not going to be like that. I want to be more laid back, you know, for at least a little while. It may change. But anyway, I don't know how long this part is. I know it's going to be more than one part. But I wanted to get some of the background out and just state that I want to do these. Let's see if I change my mind or something else comes up that seems more important. That happens quite often. But, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Like I said, I don't know how long it's going to be, and might as well start another video later. Talk to y'all in another video. Bye.